Hello, Munions. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. I'm here to talk a little bit more about myself, a little bit more about what drives me and reasons why I do some things that I do, and probably some of them are dumb. I don't always do smart things. I may be a smart person, I just don't always do smart things. You ever know one of those people? Me. So I asked on Twitter, and if you're not following me on Twitter, then this is why you're missing out. You have access to me. I talk. I'm pretty talkative. You want to talk to me? Shoot at me on Twitter. I'll talk back when I got the time. I'm not always free, but I tend to answer people when they say stuff. I asked on Twitter what would be a good idea to talk about for this, and somebody brought up that I should talk about what got me into fighting and why I do it. And so that's what we'll talk about. We kind of guess we gotta kind of go back a little bit, huh? People tend to think that because I fight now that I'm a mean person, I guess, which is true, mean. No, I'm not mean. I'm a jerk. There's a difference. There's a strong difference. Okay. I'm an onion. I make people cry, but not because I'm beat them up physically. It's because I use my superior grasp of the human language to defeat them in battles of wits. Yes, I'm a jerk. That's what I'm trying to say. I make people cry, and I it happens. I'm sorry. If we go back a little bit in my life, I was shy till you got to know me. I was one of those type kids. I'm sure we all know somebody like that. I was pretty shy. I kind of kept to myself in school. Once you got to know me, that's when I really kind of came out of my shell, and people realized that if you stood around me long enough, I was probably going to say something funny. I was probably going to get you in trouble too because of whatever I said, and you laughed, and you happened to be standing around me, and you are now in trouble by association. Sorry. That's just the way it went down. You knew to keep a smart distance away from me before I opened my fat mouth. There was a time in middle school where my teacher came in, and she looked like her outfit was legitimately, it looked like it was like a white and blue dress. It was white and blue, like half of it, like diagonally, was different color. She had a hat. She looked like a sailor. I asked her if she was joining the Navy, and I was immediately kicked out of class, which, it wasn't so bad, except for I'm sure you've all heard Ari talk about our mom. She worked in the school district. She worked in the same building. She knew immediately when I got in trouble. Not so smart. I told you I make dumb decisions. But I was not a mean kid. I didn't beat people up. I didn't physically threaten anybody. I never hurt anybody. And so I didn't, a lot of people think that that's the kind of person that can come to fighting, some tough person that maybe was bullying people or mean to people. And actually, I will tell you that a lot of those guys are terrible fighters. They're awful. They've gotten by their whole life bullying people and being bigger than people. And they're just not very tough. They're not tough mentally. They're not tough physically, actually. They just look like it, but they're not. So, I spent my middle school and my high school just being kind of like a class clown, I guess. But I did get good grades, and I did, I followed the rules for the most part. But I spent my years in school, like I said, getting bullied a lot. I got bullied. I wasn't afraid of people, but they people are bullies. They like to bully other people around, and that's what you run into. And so, I got bullied. People started to stop. I was on the wrestling team. I never wrestled before high school. I didn't even really know what it was. My cousin wrestled, and he would come over to my house and be like, "Let's wrestle." And he was talking about like collegiate, like folk style wrestling, and I was dropping elbows on him. He didn't know what was up. He would always cry, and I didn't get it. And I thought we were supposed to jump off the couch with firm elbow. I had no idea. Completely baffled. Tough for him. He got tougher though. It made him stronger. That's what we're going to go with. But I started wrestling, and turned out that I was pretty good at it. My freshman year, I lost like 2 or 3 matches, I think. And not even know anything about wrestling. I was just meaner, I guess. When it came to wrestling, I was meaner than most of the kids. I was mentally stronger. I was physically stronger, I guess, too. And so I started wrestling, and I did really well. I did really well in high school. I lost one match my senior year. Just so happened to be at state. So, it's a tough match to lose, but that's the one I lost against the 4-time state champion. That's the match I lost. So, but for having never wrestled in Little League or anything, I did really well. I went on to college, and I wrestled in college. I was the number 2 ranked nationally collegiate wrestler, and but I didn't ever do what I thought I should. I didn't win nationals, and I thought I was better. I thought I was better than what I performed to, and I know I could have done better. And so that always kind of ate at me. I believe people that don't accomplish something they want actually have more drive than those that are successful and they get the things that they want. The people that win sometimes are actually less successful than those that don't win, because those people have a drive. They always feel like something was missing out, and that's the way I've kind of felt. I felt like I missed something, that I should have done something, and I should have been better, and I feel like I let myself down a little bit. So, I finished up with college, and I actually got hurt. I didn't get to finish out wrestling in college. I got hurt pretty bad. I separated both of my shoulders at a tournament. So it was kind of rough on me. I couldn't barely take care of myself. Couldn't put on my own shirt or anything for it was probably about a month and a half. I couldn't even put on my own shirt. I was actually just out at a bar. My girlfriend at the time was a bartender, and so I was out at a bar just hanging out with some friends, and I bumped into my college wrestling coach. He was there with some recruits, I think it was, or something else. I can't recall, but I bumped into him, and he asked me, "Hey, what are you doing? What have you been doing?" And I told him nothing much. I don't really do anything. I play some rec sports, softball, and play some football and stuff, just some rec sports. And he said, "You know what? You should start doing jiu-jitsu." And he said, I think you would be really good at jiu-jitsu. I think if you worked with me, you could be a world champ in jiu-jitsu. And he told me, "I think you could be a world champ within a year." And I thought, wow, that's okay. I don't know anything about jiu-jitsu. I couldn't even spell it. And, for someone to honestly say that to me, that kind of got me interested. And I still have this drive to compete. I always have that. I'm a very competitive person. So I had this drive to compete. And those one-on-one sports always interest me. And so I started doing jiu-jitsu. And, if any of you ever get interested in jiu-jitsu, like I said, I was a successful collegiate wrestler. My first couple months were really rough. I think I got submitted by everybody, and I was a tough person. I didn't tap out easy, and I got submitted all the time. I think I woke up on somebody's chest one time, had no clue what happened. I was fine one minute, I woke up the next drooling on somebody's chest, not having a clue what the hell just happened. But I learned real quickly. I picked it up, and actually, in about 6 months, I won Worlds. Worlds came around, and I won Worlds. It wasn't close. I didn't get scored on. I didn't give up an advantage or a point at all, and I pretty much dominated Worlds. And I won, and then I went back a little later and did it all again. Just as fun. Still haven't been scored on. And after that, the gym that I was going to, that my collegiate coach had took me to, they had fighting. They had MMA. And I started working with some of the fighters on their ground game, their wrestling, and how to incorporate that. People that weren't really wrestlers, how to work some of that into their fight game and improve them. And that's when it kind of came about, like, hey, you should be fighting. All you got to do is learn the stand-up part of it, how to punch. And I'd hit a little bit and just didn't have the proper technique. And everybody thought I hit really hard, so I just had to learn to do it right. And so that's what kind of got me into fighting. And I got better and better, and I started fighting. And sometimes people try to have these amazing undefeated amateur records, and it just doesn't matter. Your amateur record goes away when you turn pro, so it just doesn't matter. I fought anybody. I didn't care. I took fights on, I took fights on 4 days' notice. I took a fight on 4 days' notice, less than a week, a couple times. I fought a guy that was 20 pounds bigger than me. I just didn't care. I didn't care. I would fight. I don't back away from any MMA fight. As an amateur, I just didn't do it. And I would take any fight, and I thought each one helped me get better. And I also worked a full-time, regular job, so I didn't get all the training in. I had to find my own time to get all that training in that a lot of other people were doing, because they either worked part-time or didn't work at all. This was it. This is what they did. And so I started fighting, and I've been successful at it, and I've continued to get better. And actually, some people have asked me about, will I ever show a fight on my YouTube? And the answer is yes. Yes, I will. It's probably going to be an older one, but I'll show one. And the reason why it'd be an older one is for a couple of reasons. One, I don't have the rights to any of the fights I've been in. They would get copyright claimed so quick, and not just to the point where you can't monetize it. It's to the point where it would get taken down. I don't have the rights to put those on YouTube. And the other reason is because you all know my sister, and I'm not going to put anything out there that would let you break her privacy through me. I think that's a little unfair, and I'm not worried about me. I really couldn't care less if you knew exactly who I was. There's nothing that would do to me. But I don't have a child, and I'm not a girl who could get threats and nasty things that might really bother somebody. So finding out who I am is irrelevant. But I'm not going to put anything up that would allow people to harass my sister through me. So I've got one. I have the right to put it up. It's not going to be copyright claimed, and I think I can edit it after looking at it. And it would be a little bit of an older one, but I think you guys would enjoy it. It was a fun one for me, so I'm gonna put that up, and then you can kind of see this is what I do. This is when I'm not at work. I go to the gym. I train. I get beat up by really big guys a lot of days. I have to work out with everybody. It doesn't matter what size they are. I work out with them all. I get punched by them all, and some days my face looks pretty rough, and some days I still look handsomely wonderful, but not always. Not always. Some days it's like an eye closed like that, or just depends. Just depends what you ate that day. Eating punches like cheeseburgers is not the best policy. That's how I got into fighting, and fighting is what I do, and it's something I really enjoy, and I will continue to do it until my body tells me I'm too old to do it, because I like the competition. I like the one-on-one, and it basically just beating somebody one-on-one with no excuses. There's no excuse. I don't think I've had a fight yet where somebody could have an excuse. You lost. So you either chose to tap out, or they stopped it for your own good. But those are, that's what I enjoy. Now you know a little bit more about why I fight, or that I do fight, if you somehow didn't know yet, and how I've got to where I am. But I hope you guys subscribe to the channel. I've had a couple things people have brought up, like, hey Yeti, how come you're not funny? How come you're not funny all the time? You're playing games, and sometimes you're funny, you say funny things, and other times you just don't say nothing funny. Well, that's my competitive side. We started playing Minecraft, and I don't want to lose. I don't want to die. I want to beat it. I want to get to the end. So a lot of times you'll see me actually focusing on the game, like focusing to play, and then my funny brain doesn't work. My funny brain goes stupid brain. Yeah, that's what happens. Okay, so I'll try to entertain you guys a little bit better. Apparently, there was a couple people said that I'm just not as funny anymore. Well, I'm still the same person. I still got the same jokes. So they're all still there. I'll try not to focus so much on not losing and more on entertaining you, okay? But I think we should end this video with a little public service announcement. For those of us that have cats, like me, I would just like to remind you all that if you think your cat loves you, just remember it would probably yawn and fall asleep while watching you get murdered with a rake. That's what cats do. Thanks for watching, guys.